Okay, we're recording. First of all, I want to thank all you guys for hopping on this awesome Payday Tuesday. Woohoo! I hope you guys all had a happy, awesome Thanksgiving last week. It's just crazy. Like, we're already into December, and we have been doing this call since the very first week of January. So we're going on a full year of hearing a different 200K story each and every Tuesday. And every week, I know we get so inspired and so fired up. Last week's call was amazing, and I know this week's call will be no exception. And I'm super excited to have someone on that I don't know their story. That's always exciting because it's like hearing something for the first time, and it always gets me pumped up. Today I have Wendy Gendreau on. Wendy, did I say it right?
Yeah, you did. You totally nailed it.
Gendreau, I got it. Woo! I'm the worst name botcher ever.
It's hard.
Well, last names are always tricky, so I'm proud of myself. I actually got it the first time. First of all, I want to thank you so much for hopping on and just like being gracious enough to share with our team. And I always say we're so lucky with Lavelle because, no matter who I've asked to be on this, even if they're not making money off of our team, they've been so awesome and said yes. So I just really, really appreciate you and taking time out of your busy schedule. And this will be recorded too, so I can share it with you later if you want it for your team as well. But I kind of wanted to start with the beginning. Like, what were you doing before you got into, doing network marketing or your own business? And then did you do any other home-based businesses or any network marketing before you found Lavelle? And if you did you see success at it, or did you dabble at all? And then how did you find Lavelle? And then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, you bet. Awesome. I don't ever really get the chance anymore to go deep back into the beginning of time. And so for me, it started when I got to college. I ended up in this back room of this restaurant. And I think you've had Janelle Fuchs on before, right? The 200K Janelle Fuchs.
Yeah, she was awesome.
So she's my personal. And so I am 18-year-old college student. And I end up in this restaurant back room where Janelle is presenting the business opportunity from my first company. And so I'm sitting in that room and my wheels are just spinning because I've never heard of anything like this before. So a side note, I always kind of contribute my success to the fact that I was naive enough to believe it could work. So I had never really seen the whole negative, thought processes around network marketing. And so when I saw this and heard about it, I'm like, this is freaking amazing. Why doesn't everybody do this? I want to make $20,000 a month. This is amazing. And so it was really funny because I didn't let that on, because I was just really sitting there and absorbing the whole conversation. And she thought I was bored the whole time. And after that, I'm like, sign me up. I'm all in. So I stayed with that company for about 6 years. Never really had great success. I never made over $32 a month. Loved their products, loved their company. Their comp plans sucked. And that's kind of has also led to a love of studying this industry. I think this industry is amazing. Not all companies are made the same. And I think our job as top leaders is to give people awareness around choosing the right company, right? We're all here in Lavelle, which is hands down the best company I've ever seen. And it's Payday Tuesday, and it's Giving Tuesday, and Thrivers give big. This is such an amazing home. But the hype around all these other companies of join me, join this ground floor opportunity, and people are, like I was, naive, and we're vulnerable. And our job as top leaders is to always spread the vision of, be smart, study the company, study the comp plan. If you guys don't know the difference between comp plans, I would encourage you to study them, just like the basic, binary, unilevel, breakaway, because then when someone comes to you and they're like, well, I'm in this company and I really love the products, the culture is amazing, the company is phenomenal, but the comp plan, I'm not making any money. And if you can ask, what kind of comp plan do you have? And they say breakaway, you can be like, oh, stop. And then you can speak life into them of the difference of what a breakaway plan does and how hard that is and how it's not sustainable versus what we have. And now let me just be very honest here. I am not a guru. I still don't understand how we get paid so many different ways or how we get paid so well. But you can learn a little bit here and a little bit there. And so that company, I always said I was never going to leave because of the person I became. So it didn't matter to me that I wasn't making money. I mean, it did because we couldn't afford anything, but I loved the person I was becoming. People join this business, this industry, because it truly is a personal development company disguised with a comp plan. And so you have to focus on building that culture within your organization that people will stay even if they aren't getting paid. I mean, thank goodness, we have an amazing comp plan, but that's what we really want to strive for. So 6 years in that company, and then I dabbled in a few other, lost count because I was that person like, oh my gosh, I love this product, let's try and sell it. Like, oh my gosh, I love this product, let's try and sell it. And so I had some success, some not. Right before Lavelle, I sold jewelry, and that's how I got to know Elise Leininger, who is my best friend and my sponsor. And so we sold jewelry together, and I joined that company because of their pay plan, the compensation plan. I remember laying in bed with my husband, and he was like, you don't wear jewelry. And I was like, I can learn. I can learn how to wear jewelry. And so I actually had really great success with that company. I was number one in sales for the company the month I gave birth to our third child. But after that, it was like, no, I'm done. I don't want to carry around, big, huge, heavy things and do parties 3 to 4 nights a week and be away from my babies. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hang my hat up with this industry. Like, I tried it. It was a good run. I'm a better person because of it. We haven't changed our family financially in a drastic way. So let's try something else. So then I was going to go to the route of purchasing a franchise, because then I thought owning a brick and mortar store was the way to financial freedom. And I'm here to tell you that was not the case for us. And so we started that process February of 2014, and March of 2014 was when Elise gave me a call. And Elise called me and she said, listen, I found something that we should do together. I think, it's just going to be perfect for us. And I was like, absolutely not. I am not interested in another company and another promise of a financial freedom. I don't need something else to spend my money on every single month. I mean, the reality was at that point, we had a 1-month-old, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 5-year-old. I was homeschooling my 5-year-old through kindergarten. I had 3 in diapers. I was nursing. We were opening the brick and mortar store. My husband was working full-time in the oil field, which means he was gone. So I was tired, stressed out, cranky. We had no finances. We had the beautiful house and the brand new minivan. So from the outside, it looked like we had it all together. But on the inside, I was still checking my bank account before I was buying groceries. I didn't know how I was going to be able to buy diapers for the next month. I mean, things were just very, very tight. And so I had 2 options. I could live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And when I told Elise no, and I got off that phone, I had this huge, just this pain in the middle of my stomach. And it was, I swear it was my intuition, God, whatever you want to say that is for you. For me, it was saying you have to give this a try. Because what if it goes on to work for her and in 3 months she has a little tiny bit of success and you said no? I do not want to live with the pain of regret. I can live with the pain of discipline. I can work hard for something, but not regretting something. But then here I still had the reality of my circumstances. We were broke. We had no money to be able to buy anything. I had no time. I was tired, exhausted. I mean, I literally was like a chicken running around with my head cut off. So instead of saying, I can't do it because of those things, I said, I can't not do it because of those things. If I don't have the time, I need to do this. If I don't have the money, I need to do this. But I was still cynical. I still didn't listen to the recorded call. I didn't watch the video she sent me. I remember hopping on the website and I'm like, this is way too simple, way too good to be true. Like, it was just so simple. And like, let me back up a little bit. We only had the 3 steps. So there was no 40 plus products. We had the capsules, the lifestyle mix and the DFT, which they had really, I think, just had launched. We didn't even have balance yet. So here I am getting on this website going, I don't think so. So I really I found the credit card that had just enough room to order a promoter pack. I ordered, because I went ahead then and ordered the 400 pack, because if I'm doing it, my husband's doing it. And then we can both prove her wrong. And so I didn't even know what I was ordering. I didn't know anything about the company. I hopped over to the fan page, like she said. It had 4,000 likes on it. Didn't like it. Like, I just was so cynical about the whole industry, because we paint this vision of work for 5 years and you can sit by the beach for the rest of your life, or, you know, it's just so amazing. I get to work from home, or I get to retire my husband. And I was very cynical, because here we are probably further in debt because of all of my adventures with this industry. So product came, I called her up and I'm like, all right, I'm laying in bed. I have the product beside me. What am I supposed to do? She walked me through it in my first day. And you guys, thank the good Lord, I was a day one thriver, because that product changed my life that day. I remember after the first hour, I had this fog that was like lifted off of my shoulders. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what people mean when they talk about mental clarity. Like, who knew? My husband came home that day from work, and I had gone and got groceries. I had supper ready. The house was cleaned. Laundry was done. I already took the kids to the park, and he walked in that house and I was happy. I wasn't tired. I wasn't asking to go take a nap so he could take the kids. I was happy. And he looked at me and he said, whatever you started, I need to start that too. And I'm like, good, I've got some for you. And so that was really how we started. And then I just thought, man, if this has changed my life that drastic, I need to share it with all of my tired, exhausted moms. And so I just very organically started sharing on Facebook. And now I also want to side note here that I am a huge believer in what worked 4 or 5 years ago on social media is not working today. And that is one of our biggest hurdles right now in this business for me and my organization, is what we used to do isn't working. It's not getting engagement. People aren't coming out of the woodworks asking what we're doing. They're unfollowing us. They're blocking us. They're not responding to our messages. So what worked then isn't working now. So I just want to say that also, in my opinion.
I was just thinking about like what you kind of talked about so far is so interesting, because people don't know comp plans. And we have these people that they fall in love with the product and they're like, oh no, I like a new product. Maybe I should go there. And I always tell people, every time I like something, I mean, my house is filled with home-based business stuff. I love supporting home-based businesses, but every time I like a product, I don't go sign up in the company. And it's such, like you said, you had found the jewelry, but you didn't even wear jewelry, but the comp plan was good. People don't understand how hard it is to find a combination of both, to find a product that actually works and that pretty much everybody likes. And then to also have a compensation plan that goes with that. It's hard. It's really, really hard.
It's from the very beginning, from my very first company, I said to my husband, I just need to find a product people will run around and tell their friends about, because people aren't going to be like, oh my gosh, this red lipstick is unbelievable. And also they're not gonna be like, these earrings are fabulous. Like, I want every single one of my friends to buy them. And that wasn't consumable. And so I told him, I need to find something that's consumable and that people will run around and talk about. Not that I have to run around and shove this down everyone's face, like that people will organically want to share it with people. And I wanted a company that was ethically and morally sound. And I believe we have that with Jason and Paul, and I got to know them very early on. And I can say with everything inside of me, I believe in their hearts and what the vision they have for this company. Right. And then the comp plan is just like so freaking brilliant. I mean, like I said, I still don't understand how we get paid all the different ways.
It's crazy. It's like, how are we getting these paychecks every week? I love what you also said too. You stayed in companies making less than $32 a month because you felt like you were a part of something, because you were becoming a better person. And I think so many of us are missing that. we think
Yeah.
that, if we sign up a new promoter and they don't get their VIP bonuses, they're out the door. And a lot of times they are. And it's our fault
Mhm.
because we are not grabbing that person and really making them see the big picture. This is
Mhm.
about being a part of something. This is about having an extended family, meeting new people, and that is why people stay when the going gets tough. It's because of the relationships that you build with them. And I always tell my team, if you're losing people left and right, it's because you're not building those relationships. You've got to build the relationships. You've got to recognize and edify
Mhm.
people. And sometimes people are waiting, for somebody to get a VIP bonus before they get recognized. You need to recognize people for, waking up in the morning and even posting. In the beginning, you got to recognize those little things. I had Sherry Leopold on last week, and she said she was in tons and tons of companies too. And what blew her away about Lavelle was the auto bonus, that all the companies she had been in, she had never been able to achieve the car bonus, even when she made good money. And
Mhm.
she said, coming in here, she was blown away at how easy it was to not only get to about $1,000 a month in pay, our second level in the company, but to get that auto bonus. And I was in one other company before this, and I was in that company for 6.5 years, and one person on my entire team got our auto bonus.
Mhm.
I was like, coming over here, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have like 400 people. This is crazy. But it's always so interesting interviewing somebody that was in before all the other products came, and you had it like tough. People now are like, oh, it's tough, whatever.
Oh,
Like, can you imagine starting in a company
oh,
where there's like 4,000 likes on the Facebook page, and you go to the website and there's 3 products to choose from?
you
It's
guys,
like,
let me tell you, like, people thought I was selling illegal drugs. So when people say to me now, oh, it's so hard, like, you got in when it was brand new and easy, like, it's so hard now. Oh, I almost lose a gasket, because I'm like, we didn't have a USA Today article. Like, we didn't have Success from Home magazines. We didn't even have a millionaire. Maria had just hit 200K. Sheila Fasoni had just hit 200K. Like, we had absolutely nothing to prove that this was going to work. You guys, honest to God, in the very first week, 2, 3, I had people who were like, is what you're selling legal? Like, are you first, like, and it was an honest question. I mean, they weren't trying to be rude. They were just like, you're kind of like running all over the place. You have amazing energy. Like, is it legal? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, like, because I
I think
didn't.
so.
We knew nothing. We knew absolutely nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. But it is true about what you were saying about the pay plans too, because what Paul and Jason did was they really front loaded, right? So every other company under the sun, I feel like too, it's generationally and like these eras, like we're in just a different era now in generations, where as in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, that all worked in this industry. Work hard for 5 years, and then you're gonna reach the top of the company, then you'll be making money. That doesn't work now. People want Amazon Prime today, not in 2 days, today. And so when they really front loaded the comp plan, it was really brilliant, because it's giving them those VIP bonuses where they're feeling like they have succeeded already. When people are earning that car bonus in the first week or 2, I mean, even if it takes them a month or 2 or a year, like, still way better than anything else. I mean, the success that can happen, and I get it, it doesn't for some, right? But that also can come back to the personal development road. When people think of me or look at my story or hear my story, they're like, wow, she just succeeded so fast. Because March 18th, I signed up, and we went auto bonus in 25 days. We were 200K in 4 months. And we went from 200K in 4 months to $1 million per month in the next 4 months. And so we literally grew so astronomically
With
fast
3 products.
with 3 products.
I'm just it blows
And
my
like,
mind.
really, really nothing to back us up on it, right? Like, we had the recorded call, which Paul changed all the time, so we had no idea what he was going to be saying. We just had the video. It was just pure and just organic, true happiness and love over the product. There wasn't, here I've got this, here I've got that, here, look at my upline, they've done this. We had no flipping clue. You guys, I dang near earned the auto bonus and really had no idea what it was. I remember sitting on the middle of my living room floor and I hit $12,000 in sales, and I'm like, so what does this mean? I think I earned the level that I get a car, but I don't know what that means. Like, I have no idea. Had no clue. And then I didn't even know if it really was truly going to work. And so when we grew so fast, people look at that and they're like, oh, she just got in at the right time. No, people don't see the 10 years before that I failed. And
well, you were building a network, being in all these other companies, and then you found the right one with the right product that everyone needed. Right. And I think that you're so right. People always they're always comparing their beginning to our middles or somebody else's middle. They don't know the backstory. And you know, you had put in the time and the work and the energy to build that network up. And I loved when you talked about how different Facebook is now compared to where you started. It's so crazy. It's so true. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I had started my Facebook about 5 months before I started network marketing. And I think I had maybe less than 100 friends, and just growing Facebook and, you know, being able to just post really spammy stuff that worked. Oh, yeah. I mean, that stuff really worked. Oh my gosh, it is so horrible. Yep. So what would you say? Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you feel like you're doing differently now, and what have you changed so that you are still getting things and growing through social media?
Well, I really don't like the word attraction marketing, so I'll just say that. But I do think that there's value in giving value on the social media outlets without vomiting Thrive. I think now we're in a day and age that we can't be like, here, we're Thrivers, here, we're doing this, we're doing that, like, here's my product, here's our sale, here's my product, here's my sale, because it is a proven statistic now that people's time span of their attention is actually less than a goldfish. So we have 3 seconds to either hook someone or lose them. And if we are, put yourself in their position. If someone is on Facebook, and I know you all have experienced this, if someone's on Facebook and they're like, boom, my product's amazing, buy from me. You're like, next, swipe, tap, click, unfollow, whatever we've got to do, because you want to see your friends' cute pictures, or you want to see, you know, like whatever it is. And so I think right now we are in an era that we need to give value. So we can do, this is my belief. I believe that we can do that as a thriver without vomiting Thrive. Because what is it that you want to portray your life as? For me, I'm a happy mom. I'm not yelling at my kids. My husband and I have a good marriage. We're hopeful. I want to be able to inspire and motivate people that they can have a life with options. So you can do all of that in a very strategic way so that people are going, what the heck is she doing? So that they reach out to you and they message you. Because then if you're just like, thrive, what are they going to do? They're not going to freaking ask you what it is. They're going to go over to Google and Google Thrive. And then they're going to go, oh, that's vitamins. I don't need vitamins. Or, wow, look at that bad review. That stuff is crack. Or look at that person. It's a get rich quick scheme. Boom. Done. Game over. Like, you don't get a second chance. And so as you can tell, I feel very strongly about this topic because it's not working. It's not working to share these beautiful Thrive graphics. Like, I am loving the graphics that the Lavelle fan page is putting out. Like, they are so beautiful. Like, I want to copy them, share them, post them, put them in picture frames. But if people are not reaching out, so like it's almost been 6 years now, I would post something and I would have 20 people inbox me. What is it? What is it? Now I post something and I get nothing. But then if I post something about, wow, like I cleaned out the fridge before I made the kids breakfast, or do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can portray the results of Thrive without saying this is why, you know. So now I get people reaching out going, how do you travel so much? Like, just an honest question. How do you travel so much? And then I'm like, well, actually, you know, then you can start the conversation. But like you said earlier, the relationships, You have to build the relationship. So I'm also using Facebook as a tool of communicating with other people. Oh my gosh, that's such a cute picture of your son. Like, oh my, like so cute, love that. And then a few weeks later, I'm like in their inbox, how did Johnny's surgery go? And then they're like, what the heck? How did she remember he had surgery? I'm intentional. So instead of worrying about me and how I look or what I'm posting, I am building relationships with these people. That's what I'm doing on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm totally showing up in a different way because I'm kind of looking at Instagram as it's a cold market that I now want to turn into my warm market and bringing in new leads with hashtags and all that kind of stuff. And I just am on LinkedIn also. And so I think you really have to figure out who you want to be and what you want to portray on each platform because they're different. It can be different. And which one is going to be your main focus because we can't be all to everyone and be everything all the time. Like it's just not possible. Pick one that you feel comfortable in, but not comfortable that it's going to allow you to stay in your comfort zone, right? Because that's not where growth happens. So pick one and go deep there and then be surfacey on the others. And so I'm being way more present in Instagram right now than Facebook. I'm reconnecting with people. I really have caught some people's attention that have no idea what I'm doing. They have no clue. I mean, you guys, there are so many freaking people in this world. I live in a very small community. And just 2 days ago, I was out and someone asked if it was a Nicorette patch. I mean, like,
Right.
we just need to get out of our little bubble and have a different perception and a different viewpoint and look at it differently. Like, I always consider myself VIP 800 every single month. Do I hit it? No, not every month. I don't. We used to have 5 children now. We have now recently closed our franchise brick and mortar business. And so I'm busy tying up loose ends with that. And just, you guys all get it, right? We're all busy. But you can still be intentional and plan out things instead of getting caught on just scrolling and not accomplishing anything.
Right. And I was thinking about what you were saying. I mean, we kind of in this industry, you have to change with the times. You can't stay stuck. And, just even in the last 5 years, I mean, everyone I know is working for themselves in some manner, whether it's an Etsy store or an online shopping thing or or whether they're doing Uber. I mean, everybody's kind of doing something on the side. And I think that now we have to stand out, and you do that by kind of branding yourself and offering people value, because they're used to scrolling through Facebook seeing that, oh, join my page for my online shop, or here's my Etsy store, or I'm selling this. People are used to seeing those ads. So now they're like searching, who's going to offer me value? Who, when I get up in the morning, is going to inspire me today with a post? Who's going to actually care about the picture I just posted versus, trying to spam me and trying to get my business. Since you've been in, I mean, you've been in since like the beginning pretty much, and I think a lot of people think, oh, we hit 200K, we made it. It's all sunshine and rainbows from there. Like nothing. I mean, it's just amazing. And I always tell people, I think the real work really starts at that point, because now it's not just you. You've got a whole team of people counting on you, but then it's the ups and downs and the not just dealing with people's different personalities, and some people don't like each other and some teams want to veer off. And then you have, you think your business is going great, and then you have a year that sucks, and then the volume's down because it's Christmas time and everybody's coming to you wondering what's going on. I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And I think that, there's like a balance between, you've got to have fun in this business and don't ever lose that fun, because if you do, it can really bring you down. Right. But I wanted to kind of ask you, like, are there certain things that stick out to you? Like, did you ever lose a bonus, or did your volume ever drop really low and you thought, oh crap, it's over? Like, what have you had happen that you were like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
Yeah. A few times. Absolutely. I mean, we grew super fast, and we grew and we grew and we grew and we grew. And so within the first 12 months, I was already featured in the Success from Home magazine. We were hitting 2.2 million in sales every single month. I mean, it was kind of, the blessing was also a curse, because then I didn't get to know everyone. I had a whole entire organization who I didn't know who they were. They didn't know who I was. You know, we're about 25 levels deep. And so I'm blessed to have a very deep organization, but then it's also a curse at the same time, because I'm just like, I have millionaires in my organization that we're not really even that close because we're just so far between each other. And so I've never earned a re-rank bonus. I think the other issue is that we grew so fast and we didn't know what we were doing. We really screwed up our waiting room. I mean, I placed people below my 9th level with waiting room, like personals, like you guys, it's horrific. Some of the things, Janelle and I always have this conversation, like we shot ourselves in the foot horrifically. And so our personal income shows that because of what we did with waiting room or placement, or everybody signed up, you know, themselves and then their dog and their husband and their cousin. And then their like personal promoter would be 5 levels deep. I mean, we're just so spread out. And so my first 4 levels is very thin. So I'm very, very deep, but my first 4 levels is very thin. And then my first 9 levels are very wide and we're very spread out. And so I would have to say the biggest issue I've had is regrowing that first 4 levels. That's my goal right now. And when you said something along the lines of like, we're just getting started, I truly feel now, almost 6 years in, I am just getting started. I feel like this is Level 2.0. This is the second chapter. This is when we're going to get to blow it out of the water, because we've had ups, we've had downs. We know what works, we know what doesn't. We have to change with the times. And like, we still have great company, great product, amazing comp plan. Let's go. Like, we just get to do it a little differently now. And now I just have a huge, amazing cushion to start with to run. But the ups and downs, guys, oh man, is it there? You know, we have now, so I grew astronomically fast the first 6 months. You know, the first year and a half, I don't remember. I was just looking at one of my plaques the other day that I was awarded on stage, and I read the article and I don't remember so much. And it almost put me into tears because it said July of 2015. And my husband was like, man, you're so amazing. Like, and I'm like, I wish I would have stopped and slowed down a little. Like, I wish I would have been able to absorb and enjoy it, because it was so fast. It was so furious. We had no system. So we really had no freaking clue what we were doing. And it went so fast. So then guess what happened? Burnout set in like you would not believe, to the point that I'm like, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm going to go do something else. Like, this is so awful. And I'm like a millionaire earner, you guys. Like, this is the real and honest truth. But I was so burnt out. And so you have to protect your time. You have to protect your time with your family, with your children, with your organization. So then I set into this whole new realm of creating healthy boundaries around my life, creating healthy boundaries around my business, because I am a huge empath. Like, I can feel other people's energies. I'm just very compassionate. Like, you hurt, I'm hurting. Like, I just love people so much. So when someone would quit, it would wreck me. When someone would say, like, you shouldn't have done that on that call, I was like, I'm never doing a call ever again. Like, it was just, I took things very, very personally because I was such an emotional person. So I had to work on me. I had to grow my skills. So the 10 years of failure before Level, it taught me what to say to people, what not to say, how to prospect, how to follow up. So that's why when Level showed up, it was like gangbusters. But then it was time for me to work on me. And so I don't look at this time right now with Level as we need to figure out how to promote the product. We need to figure out how to sell the opportunity business. Like, that's all the easy stuff. We are in the business of building people. And so you have to figure out how to build your community, how to build your tribe, how to grow a culture that people are like, I don't care what happened. I don't care how bad the company screwed up. I am standing behind them 1,000,000%. That is what my goal is now, is to build a whole new slew of this organization that is just rock solid, that nobody's going to walk away. No one's going to quit. And of course they are, but a foundation that people are like, I know what I have here. You know, I can bet you every single person who has walked away from this business is regretting it today. And I know a few of them because they have been in my organization. They were my uplines, and they walked away from amazing incomes because what? It got hard. Like, life is hard. Like, being a mom is hard. Being a wife is hard, right? Like, not being able to buy groceries is hard. So pick your hard. right? This is hard. This can be exhausting. It can be excruciating, but it's a hell of a lot better than anything else I've done in my life. You guys, I came from corrections. I worked in a correctional facility where I would walk in and have to deal with a juvenile who just committed suicide that day as a young adult. This is not hard at all. You just have to figure it out and change your perspective. So every morning I get to show up and help my organization. I get to explain to the lady who has no
Oh,
I'm so
there you go.
I'm so happy that I get to have the time and patience to be able to explain things to people now. So it's all about your perspective and your perception of things. And so you don't have to, you get to be here. Like my thought process is it's an honor. It is an honor that this company fell in my lap. It is just an absolute blessing that I said yes. And I'm so freaking thankful that I'm still here, that the company's still here. And I will work my tail off until either God takes me home or this company goes under, which I don't think is going to happen. But I am going to work my tail off until that day comes, because every other person in this world deserves the opportunity that I've had. Now, can everyone do it? Yes, everyone is able, but will they do it? No.
Right. And I was just thinking about what you said. I always say that you choose your hard. And, what's the alternative? What is the alternative? It always boggles my mind when somebody comes to me, and most people come in because they just want an extra $500 to $600 a month. Most people can't grasp that bigger number yet because they don't have that belief instilled. But it's crazy how many people come in for that $500 to $600 a month, and then they way surpass that. And now they're down on themselves, and I should just quit, and I'm not moving faster, and they're comparing themselves to other people. And it's like, how blessed we are to be part of something where we have a product that is truly helping people. I mean, look at the stories on the fan page. We have a compensation plan that honestly, this by the time you reach the second level in the company, I mean, you're making some cash. It's making a difference in your life. And then to just see people get so, I have people that have come to me over the last couple months saying, I'm just burnt out. I've been in network marketing for 10 years, 5 years. I'm just burnt out. And I know how that funk is. I think we've all gotten in that funk before where we're like, how do we get out of this place? And there's not an easy answer for it. You just do it. Like, you get up in the morning and you go through the motions, and eventually, I don't know what your take is on it, but eventually what I found is when I get in those funks, and they can last a couple months sometimes. They can last, but I still do what I'm supposed to do. And always what I've discovered over the last 10 years is it always comes back around where I'm excited again and I'm all in, but you just have to push through the hard.
Yeah, definitely. You take a break, you don't quit.
Yeah.
So in the very beginning, I removed the option to quit. So it's not an option for me. So it's not something I fall back on, when times get tough. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just quit. Because it's not even an option. If you're a mother, you don't get up in the morning after you had a really bad day and you're like, well, I'm just not going to be a mom today. You don't do it. So
Right.
You don't quit. So if you get in a funk, and if, like you said, it lasts a few months, you take a break, you rest, you restructure to support yourself so that moving forward, it doesn't get that extreme again. And so just one little scenario, I started when I kind of hit that burnout phase, I started getting a massage every single week because I knew that's what my body needed. My body needed to have that physical healing. And even though it was not convenient to go and get a massage every week and taking that hour or hour and a half out of my time, it was what I needed to be the best mom, the best wife, the best leader. And so I made that commitment. And so whether that's for you eating healthy, or I would have someone come just to play with my kids for an hour, or having someone come in, like I'll never forget when Paul Gravette told me, Wendy, pay someone to come in and do your dishes. Because I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like he was like asking me to be on a call at 8 a.m. and I was like dropping kids off and dishes. And I was like so overwhelmed. And he was like, Wendy, hire someone to come in and do your dishes. I'm like, I can't do that. He's like, yes, you can. And so sometimes you just need to restructure things. But like you said too, with the pay, you know, I came in and I'm like, if I can just get my product for free, like that would be freaking amazing. But then I was like, what if I could make like $200 a month? Like, I wouldn't hate that. And then I quickly jumped to $1,000 a week. And I'll never forget, I was sitting across the table from Paul Grabette. We were having breakfast one morning. And I was just like, okay, I'm making $1,000 a week, like just in case you don't know.
It's so exciting. You're like $1,000.
Yeah. And he's probably like laughing at me. I can't even imagine what he is making, you know, but I was just like, I'm making $1,000 a month. Like my entire goal was always to make $1,000 a month. And here I was making $1,000 a week. I think I said it wrong. Sorry. So I was making $1,000 a week and I was just like, so what now? Like I truly thought that was the end. Like this is it. Like it can't get any better than this. $4,000 a month. Like, are you kidding me? Like it cannot get any better than this. And he goes, now you make $10,000 a week. And I was like, whatever. Like you're funny. And he was like, no, I'm serious.
You'll see. Right.
Oh, okay. And then you guys.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then that happened. And so I also learned to trust the guidance from other people. But then too, like, right, just as our organization goes up and goes down, your income goes up and goes down. And I remember when my income started going back a little bit and I was frustrated and I was upset because I was used to getting this amount of paycheck. And then I really had to work on my gratitude, what I was grateful for.
I was going to ask you about that because like I've noticed like at times in my business where, I don't know, things seem to not be going well or maybe my income's gone back. When I look in the mirror at myself, I realize I kind of fell into management mode a little bit. Like I was expecting others to do the work for me, or like I say I'm doing the work because I'm doing a Zoom tonight and I've been on three-way calls today. But when I look at my personal business, my PPA 0, I'm like, okay, maybe this is why things aren't working out the way it is. And I think sometimes it's so hard to like, especially when you hit around 12K, I think that's where people start falling into that management trap. They got a team. All of a sudden they start really concentrating on making them work. And then the blame game starts. As soon as things start going the wrong way, well, my team wasn't doing what they were supposed to. They're not working.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what happened to us. This is a huge awareness that I had within our organization because we had a lot of people that hit 12K very fast. I mean, we're talking like 400 people hit 12K. And what I have found with our situation here at Level is it's such an attainable rank, but when people hit it so fast, but they're not prepared to be a leader for their team, that's when people can run into management mode or self-sabotage because they don't believe that they're worth it. They don't believe that they deserve it. You know, I've also run into that a lot where people are like, I don't deserve a car bonus. And I'm like, why the heck not? But people truly believe that. And so I feel that we have to build in systems that allow our 12Ks to grow into leadership. And so we really work a lot with personal development and reading certain books, becoming better leaders, coaching with them on how to handle people and how to have that 80-20 rule. Because me still today, I work my personal business first, and it is a tight balance between working your personal business and caring for your team. But if I don't work my personal business, I'm not going to have a team to care for. And so we really have to start having leadership conversations at 12K, because what we have found is that people hit that rank and they're not ready to be a leader. They're not ready to lead a team. They don't even feel like they're worthy of an income like this. And then they all of a sudden have a team. And so we really have to step in as top leaders to really raise them up in that manner. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's our job, is to kind of help guide people through that process, because like you said, I mean, let's be realistic. To have, I think I had around 300 people within 2 years hit that 12K mark on our team. And that was something I wasn't used to. I was in another company for 6.5 years, and I was the only person that made it to the top of the comp plan. I mean, I came from a company that we made 10 in 2 years. So to make that amount and then watch people fall back, I think it's the expectations we're setting to people too. You know, are you paying attention to people's businesses? Because if you have someone come in and they go 12K based off of, you know, they signed their mom, their dog, their aunt, their sister,
Mm-hmm.
And then they're expecting to hold 12K with a bunch of people that weren't going to work.
Exactly.
We also are setting these expectations for people that aren't realistic either. And I wanted to kind of ask you about that too. When you sign up, let's say I'm in your inbox today, Wendy, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do this. What do you do now? Like, take me through that first 14 days that you do with that brand new person.
Well, it's so different now compared to what I used to do. What I used to do is I would be like, oh my gosh, you're going to love it. Let's get you thriving. Da, 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 da. And now I really kind of like qualify them. I'm just like, but are you sure? Like, are you ready? And I don't give away samples. I don't really give away product. I don't give away anything until I know that they are serious and committed. So if I just have a thriver come in, I just had this happen. I had someone randomly on Facebook tag my name on something, and this girl reached out to me, and I was just like, all right, great. Like, how serious are you? And so I start off by asking them, what do you want out of this? Because if they're like, oh, I want to lose 100 pounds by Christmas, like, and I'm like, this isn't for you. And I legit tell people that if they are not in the right mindset or they are not in the right place in their life, I will say this might not be for you. Like, why don't we work on a few of these things, or maybe you could go try and find something else, but this isn't a quick fix. This is a lifestyle commitment. And so I think too, that has helped with part of my success because I just don't take everyone. I have an ideal client. My ideal client is an exhausted, tired mom. Now, that's not to say if I have someone come off the streets and want to take it, I'm going to say no, but I'm going to really question them. I'm really going to put them through the ringer of what are your goals? What are you committed to? Because I'm also not going to do that dance of, holy cow, that's a lot of money. Oh, like, no, thank you. I am not available for someone to say, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. And then I just say, well, then obviously you don't value your health enough. So maybe this isn't a right fit for you. And then they turn their tone around real quick. They're like, oh, no. It's okay. I totally have the money. It's fine.
What's so funny is when people say, I have to pay to start a business. Yeah. And I'm like, what business would you be able to start in life without putting money into it? Yeah. It's like, it blows my mind, the concept.
Yeah. And I have such a different perspective, because I paid $130,000 to start my franchise, which then actually ended up costing me about $800,000 in finances. And so whenever I have anybody who even slightly is like, well, I don't know, $400, I'm just like, oh my gosh. I just put, again, perspective, and so I really don't talk business or opportunity until people are loving the product. And then when they are loving the product, then I just simply ask the question, like, do you think you'd be interested in sharing this with the people you love? And then I still say the same old tried and true, who do you know? Who do you know is tired, exhausted, they've lost hope, they don't know how they're going to pay their bills by the end of the month. And then they're like, oh my gosh, it's everyone I know. All right, would you be willing to contact them? Would you, I just bring everything back to the heart center.
Because if they say no, I don't want to reach out to these people, why would you sign somebody as a promoter? And I know what you mean when you said the way I did it in the beginning is so different than now. Like, I'd be like, are you breathing? Sign here. Like, that was how I was in the beginning.
Are you breathing? And hair is optional. You're on my team. And now
it's like totally different because you start to understand the farther you get into your business that it does you no good to talk someone into signing up, especially as a promoter. Mm-hmm. And I love what you said about, I want them to use the product first. And I have learned over the last 3 years that starting someone out when they've never used this product before, it's usually not a win.
So the other question I always ask too is, are you currently taking a probiotic? And if they're like, no, and I'm like, well, okay, well then we need to prepare for that, because then we need to even have a whole entire conversation about gut health, because then I don't want someone to come in. I mean, like, there were times when we got started, we were just like full dose and everybody like, going hog wild. And if people have really bad health habits and they've never had probiotics and their gut is in a total mess and they have no idea, and then they take our lifestyle mix, like, hello. So like, then there's a whole nother thing. And so, yeah, I just do things so different now.
Right. I think we realize that it's like you finally start to get that it's about the quality, not the quantity. You're not going to magically talk someone into becoming a promoter, shoving them in the computer and suddenly they're going to go, I'm ready to do this. Like, there's no reason to ever sign anyone as a promoter unless they've got people ready to go. I kind of like to have people kind of set up because I don't want to waste their 14 days. And I love how you said you kind of interview people. Like, you're like, are you sure? Like, why do you
I
want to
don't
do
even
this?
consider the promoter button until they're earning their Thrive for free. If you can't earn your Thrive for free, we are not even having that conversation, because there's nothing more deflating than not earning your product for free and not hitting your bonuses as a promoter. Because then
Right.
what are you setting? You're setting them up for failure then. And also, as far as promoters and building your business, like, really ask yourself, is this someone who I want to work with every single day? You know, if they're just negative Nancy and they complain about everything in life, I'm like, you can go find someone else's team, because that is not worth the stress of dealing with someone with that kind of an attitude every single day. Now, my biggest default is I believe in everyone's potential. I think everyone can do this. Like, I don't think there's anything more special about me than you. Like, I just think every single person can have the millionaire plaque on their desk. Like, I just truly believe that with everything that I have. But I have come to the realization not everybody is willing to do that. And so when people show you their true colors, believe them. When they don't show up for a call they said they were going to, believe them. When they don't earn Thrive for free because they haven't done the reach outs, believe them. Instead of begging people, just be like, okay, love people where they're at, because we need someone at every stage in this business to fill our cup. So just love people where they're at, let them go, but then leave the door open so that in 1 month, 5 months, 6 years, they come back and they're like, okay, I've been watching you. That's what I have now. I have a lot of people who are reaching out going, I've been watching you for 5 years. You're clearly not stopping. I'm ready to join now, because they know I'm serious, I'm committed, and I'm not going anywhere.
Right. And, there's a lot of people, and I know you probably get this too, but I think sometimes I need to hear it from someone other than me. You've been doing this for 5 years. And I always tell people I've been in this industry for 10. And even with my last company, this company, there's slow times and there's fast times. There's times where it is crazy good and there's times where volume can plummet. And you've still got to do the right things, right? You still got to get up every day and plant the seeds, harvest, follow up, post on Facebook. You have to do the do, even though you're not getting the get that month, right? Like, even though you haven't signed any customers or promoters. And I think that right now, people are kind of tripping out. I mean, they always do this time of year. Will you tell everybody it's going to be okay?
I'll never forget when I had, I think one of my 80Ks, she was like, this was last Christmas. She was like, oh my gosh, my paycheck was awful. And I was like, it was Christmas.
Welcome to December.
New Year's. Like, why would you expect it to be amazing? I mean, I expect that these next few weeks, although I really want to change that, like, I really want to change how people work and show up through the holidays. I really think we can. But until then, like, you need to just expect that. And don't be so upset when it's so different. She's like, yeah, okay. Just like we know once every month we're going to have a non-auto ship paycheck. It's not a news flash. It's not rocket science. It is what it is. People can disappear through summer. People can disappear through Christmas. Like, it's holidays. So either you're ahead of the game and you're prepared for that, or you're caught back on your heels going, what just happened? So now we've got a really great buffer of time before Christmas hits. What if you were to reach out to every single person in your organization and be like, what are your goals throughout the rest of the year? What can we get started for the beginning of the year? And how can I help you? And how can I support you? So that then when that time comes, so then the other thing too is you ask for their permission. Is it all right with you? Do I have your permission to remind you of your goals? Or call you out when you haven't showed up when you said you're going to, or whatever verbiage feels good to you. So that then when Christmas is, they're like, oh, we're so busy. I'm so crazy busy. Like, I want to vomit when I hear that. I'm so crazy busy. You can say, okay, Cheryl, but remember when we had that conversation on December 10th and you said that you really wanted this? Help them make it tangible. Break down their goal for a month into weekly things, into daily tasks, so that it's 10 flippin' minutes. You guys, 20 minutes. If you take 20 minutes out of your day and you do your reach outs and follow-ups, anybody can do that. And I just have come to realize people make time and money for what's important to them. So if this is important to them, they will make time for it, not the Hallmark Christmas channel. That's just the
Right.
truth.
I
And
know, it's
people,
the truth. You
yeah,
got to
and
look in
people
the mirror.
know they're going to get that from me now. So they just know I'm going to hold them accountable. I think accountability is something that we haven't taken full advantage of here at Lavelle, because we all just kind of like skyrocketed and it was just kind of crazy town. And now we're bringing it down to, we're building some accountability groups within my organization. So we are pairing 4Ks with 4Ks, that have the same like-minded goals, that have the same, struggles and issues within their business and where they want to go and what they want to do and who they want to be. And we're pairing them in these smaller groups that we're going to have these like accountability huddles where we have a Zoom every single week, versus having this huge team Zoom and we've got 200Ks and we've got millionaires and we've got brand new promoters and people are getting lost. So the other thing that these accountability Zooms are going to be doing is we are really cultivating and growing.
That's really good. I'm stealing.
And I can share, I'm an open book, and I can share it all with you too. Like,
Oh my gosh,
if it
I was going to
works,
be messaging you because I think that's brilliant.
if
And
it works for us, I want it to work for everyone. I am not that leader that's like, this is my business. Like, you don't get my goods. I'm like, no, let's tell everybody. If it's going to work, I want everybody to be doing it, because we have a great company. We have a great product. We have a great comp plan. But what we are missing is systems and processes. And when the times change, the systems and processes have to change also. And so I feel like we're on 2020 can be a really make it or break it year. And man, I'm banking on it's going to be the best one yet.
yeah, I think so too. So last question for you. If you had to say, to everyone, what 3 things that you need to do every single day in order for this business to grow, no ifs, ands, or buts, what are those 3 things?
Well, success, first of all, is 80% psychology. So number 1, you have to get your mind right. Like, you have to, before you are even out of bed, you have to get yourself into a place that and you believe what you're doing is worth it, that you have a strategic plan, that you are worthy of success, that you are deserving of success, and that you are good enough to lead people. If you jump out of bed and you just go do the do before you're actually being that person, it's not going to work at all. And so I kind of go against the grain with some of these things. Some people are going to be like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 3, 3, 2, 1, or, like all of this doing. But if you don't focus on being first, the doing is never going to be enough. So number 1, you have to get your mind right, whether that's journaling or meditation or exercising, clearing your head, planning your calendar. Like, us as women, especially, we have 4 emotional cycles throughout the month. And so that has to be flexible. You can't be like, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z every single morning of every single month. No, because some mornings we wake up and we have cramps, and some mornings we wake up and we're crabby, and some mornings we're like, want to tackle the world. So you have to have a flexible schedule that you can pull from that feels good to you. So number 1, get your mind right. It's so important. And then number 2, work your personal business first, whether that is reaching out, creating a plan, who you're talking to, following up, and not just like, and when I say reaching out and following up, that doesn't necessarily have to be, hey girl, you want to thrive with me? That is, remember the scenario? Like, how was Johnny's surgery? Like, oh my gosh, your Christmas card was adorable. You guys, I am cultivating relationships with my high school classmates like never before. And I mean, I am just growing that bond. And so number 2, work your personal business. Make it a must and make it a priority. And I believe that you can have number 1 and number 2 done before your family even gets out of bed in the morning. And then number 3 would be supporting your team, but doing it in a supportive, non-codependent way. So we cannot do it for them. We can lead the horse to water, but we can't make the horse drink. And so set up systems that you are being supportive, but you are not their pillow to cry on. You are not negative Nancy that they get to come and bring all of their crap to you. You are creating healthy boundaries for your business. You are supporting them, helping them grow, but yet you are, creating space and time for you to be with yourself, your family, your significant others, and you're still living life. Because if we're growing this business for our family members and for our kids, but then in the end, we're destroying those relationships because we're always on the phone, we're always on our computer, and we're never spending time with them, then what's the point? There is no point. So that's what I would say. I know that's maybe a long-winded answer, and it's not a popular, reach out to 10 people and call 3, but I truly believe that you have to be the person that you want to be before you can do the activity, before you actually have the outcome.
I agree 100%, 1,000%. Like, I think mindset is 99% of your success. And you can't get the right mindset unless you're growing yourself every single day. Most people come in with a very little self-belief. And it's no wonder, because it's just the world, right? It's the word no. We've heard it since the day we were born, and we've heard it a lot more than the word yes. And it's instilled in us. And you come into an industry like this that's so caring and so giving, loving, people around you believing in you, and you're hearing yes for the first time, and you're hearing people like literally, blow up your dreams and your goals. They're like saying you can do it, and we don't hear that. And so it takes a while for us to really adjust and go, maybe I can do it. And it happens with every little success that, every time you achieve. Yeah, I just got my first free customer account. Celebrate it. I just signed my first customer, and it's been 6 months. That's growth, right? Anytime we're moving forward, it's growth. And I don't think we celebrated the little things enough. I think we need to celebrate. Wendy, I just want to write in and tell Paul and Jason that you need to be on stage this year, because you were amazing. This call was absolutely amazing. And we just got paid for a second time this Tuesday by this call. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you so much for hopping on and just sharing your story with us, your heart, your tips. I know that I am ready to just take this week and kick some butt after hearing this call. So I'm pretty sure everybody else did too. And hey, you guys, we just got paid. And I don't know about y'all, but if your volume was anything like mine, I think this is going to be one of my biggest paychecks of the year, actually. So I hope you guys all go. I always say Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week and my favorite post, because when you guys make a post about your weekly paycheck, just wow, thank God for this little side gig. I just put groceries in my fridge for a week. That sticks out to people. That is the stuff that people go, I need that.
Well, and I just got goosebumps because I just checked my pay, and it is the largest that I've had this year. So you guys, give yourselves a round of applause. But I want to take this time to talk to you about something, because I was going to go live on Facebook. And so I want to share this with you guys. Thrivers give big, and you get out of life what you give. And so if you guys have a charity you love or someone you love to support, I want to encourage you to give big this Tuesday. Globally, I think we spent $8 billion between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I can't remember if that's quite the right number. And so if we were able to give that much money for stuff that we don't need, we should be able on Giving Tuesday to be able to give 10% of our paycheck, or even if it's just 1%, or you guys, even if it's just $10, drop it in the Salvation Army bucket. But I just want to encourage you guys to really cultivate that heart of giving in yourself. And maybe it's already there, and maybe like me, I don't know if you're anything like me, but it's maybe lost its spark a little bit. And I really am being intentional on engaging that again. And so I want to encourage you guys. And if you are like, I've never given before, tell me more, shoot me a message. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Wendy Gendreau, WendyGenDreau. And I would love to tell you who I give to and the charities that are near and dear to my heart. But above and beyond that, I would love for you guys to cultivate that givingness into your teams, because I have seen when we get together as a whole and we give big, we change lives. We impact kids and children and families that maybe wouldn't have a Christmas, or maybe don't have clean drinking water, or wouldn't be receiving a gift. And so that's just something that's on my heart. And I just wanted to be able to share with you guys, because I know today is going to be an amazing payday for so many.
It is, and I want to thank you for sharing that. When you give back, you get it back like 10,000 fold. It's just an amazing feeling too, especially this time of year. And like you said, it could just be like paying for the person's coffee behind you, or opening. I mean, if you guys aren't making a paycheck yet, it's actions, opening the door for someone, helping somebody out to their car with groceries. I mean, there's
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll
things
tell
you
you
can always
something.
do.
My mentor said to me when I first started in this industry, give someone a smile. Because what if that person, that was the only smile they got that day? You can change someone's life with a smile. You don't have to have a $1,000 donation or a $10 donation. You can impact someone's life just by being kind and spreading kindness. So that's such a good point.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Wendy, for hopping on. And you guys, I want to thank all of you guys for taking time out of your Tuesday to self-develop, to pour into yourselves. I always say this Tuesday call is kind of a self-development call too. It's a way to, know that you're on the right path, and that others have experienced the things you're experiencing, and success is around the corner. If you stick with it, guys, don't give up, don't quit, and be true to yourself and self-develop. I'm super excited. Just to let you guys know, we are not having a call next week because I'm going to be in New York. So we're not having a call. But I did want to let you guys know that January 7th is the very first Tuesday in January, and Maria Dillard will be our guest kicking off the new year. Our 200K billionaire, trillionaire guest kicking off the new year. Right. So you guys are not going to want to miss that call for sure. And thank you guys so much for hopping on. Thank you again, Wendy. And I will get the recording out to everybody as soon as Danny gets it out to me. Thanks, guys.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great holiday season. Love you all.
Thanks so much, Wendy. Happy holidays.